Hello student, let us start our second part of the chapter resources and development, class 10th, geography, chapter 1st. In the last or the first module of this chapter, we done that what is the resources and the importance of resources and its characteristics. Now today what we will do is that what are the types of resources. So in the types of resources, we classified resources on different bases. Our first basis is on the basis of its origin. If we classify resources on the basis of its origin, then resources are of two types. The first type of resources is the biotic resources, and the second type of resources is the abiotic resources. Now what is the biotic resources? Biotic resources, these resources are obtained from biosphere and have lives, such as the human beings, flora, fauna, livestock, etc. Like as you can see, flora or fauna, etc. These all are the biotic resources. You can see this through these pictures also. Here a picture of forest. In these pictures, trees, living things, flora, fauna, all these are examples of biotic resources. On other hand, solar energy, soil, coal, birds, plants, oceans, energy, flowers, minerals, natural gas, atmosphere, fossil fuels, oxygens, water, trees, fish, oils, etc. These all are examples of the biotic resources. I hope biotic resources is now clear in our mind. Now let us come to the second part. What is a biotic resources? Obviously just opposite of it, all the non-living things comes in it, or we can say that all those things which are composed of non-living things are called abiotic resources. The examples are, we can take the examples like rocks, metals, in front of you the computer screen, walls, concrete, sea below, the floor made up of rocks or marbles, etc. These all are non-renewable resources. And here through this picture also, where I try to show you, these all roads, the homes, car, and other our daily uses things are made by us, lights, etc. So all these things are an example of abiotic resources. Now let us come to resources on the basis of exhaustibility. On the basis of exhaustibility, resources are basically of two types. The first type of resources is renewable resources. Thus, second type of resources is non-renewable resources. Now this non-renewable resources is again of two types: recyclable and non-recyclable. So let us understand the resources on the basis of exhaustibility. Renewable resources, by name it is clear, renewed means resources which can be renewed, replenished. They all are called renewable resources. Resources which are reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical process. For example, here in this picture we are trying to take the example of this. The first is the solar energy, wind energy, wildlife, etc. these all are renewable resources of energy. They cannot be exhaust. Now by name it is clear, non-renewable resources of energy. Non-renewable resources of energy means all those resources which cannot be renewed are called non-renewable of resources. These occur over a very long geological time. If they renewed, they take a very long geological period, means millions and billions of years. Minerals, fossil fuels are examples of such resources. Like here there is a coal mine, example of non-renewable resources. Somewhere through this also we can understand all these are the examples of non-renewable resources, in which oil is the 36%, natural gas is total 24%, coal 28%, 6% is the nuclear, and 6% is hydraulic energy. Hydraulic energy is not a non-renewable resources. We can renewed water again and again, but it is a resource example of energy. That is why this is here in this example, otherwise we cannot count it here. Now as you can see here, non-renewable resources are also of two types. Recyclable means those non-renewable resources which can be recycled and reproduced. Here we can take example of iron. Iron is a non-renewable resources. It takes a long geological period to renewed or reproduced on inside the earth, but once we use iron, we again use it. Let us take an example, like I am sitting in a chair. The one of the legs of these chairs are made of iron. If one of its legs broke down, what can I do? Is I threw that leg outside? No. We can use that leg. No, we can use that leg for the process of recycling, means we recycle this resource again, smelting that iron and reproduced iron and steel, and again made a new leg for the chair. So this is how we can reuse a renewable resources, iron. Now there is another example of non-renewable resources, and that is coal, COAL, coal. But coal is not a recyclable resources. Like once we used coal, what is left? Ash. We cannot use ash again for the fuel purpose or burning purpose. Yes, we can use ash for making bricks and for the purpose of fertilization, etc., washing hands, but that is for other purpose. The main purpose of coal, that is the burning purpose, giving heat, that we cannot get again. So that is why coal comes in non-recyclable resources. So I hope recyclable and non-recyclable are clear in non-renewable resources. Now let us come to the third type, or we can say third part, that is on the basis of ownership. On the basis of ownership means who is the owner of that particular resource. We can classify it according to these resources. The first type of resources is individual resources. Individual resources means these are also owned by privately owned resources. We can take example like plantation, home, in villages, wells, etc. Like here is a picture of home, which is an example of individual resources. Means this house or home is not our house, but it is the house of a particular person, an individual person. So it comes in an individual resources. On the basis of ownership, the second comes is the community resources. Community resources by name clear, where These resources are owned by a community, not by an individual. These are resources which are accessible to all the members of the community in village commons. In rural areas, let us take an example. There is a well, one well for the whole village, temple, etc. Grazing grounds. All these are examples of this. Here in this picture we can see that this is an example of community resources temple, where different types of peoples are coming for prayer of the communities. In urban areas, like here you can see a community park in this picture. So park, schools, picnic spots, playgrounds, etc. All these are an example of community resources. Now the next one, and that is national resources. National resources means all resources belonging to the nations. All minerals, waters, forest, wildlife, land within the political border and oceanic areas up to 12 nautical miles. That comes in national resources. We can understand it through this diagram. Like this is a diagram of India. Now here, this boundary, the whole boundary line, from this boundary line to in sea, the coastline from 12 nautical miles far from the coastline till here, all the minerals and other things which comes in it, they all are comes in natural resources. Like here, this is a land, so here till here, each and every things are an example of national resources. Plus the skyline of this area is also comes in national resources. In this diagram also, this is a land part of a country, where a land part, this is this water zone is a 12 nautical miles, 12 nautical miles, which 12 nautical miles we can say, or we can say 19.2 kilometer in kilometers. This comes in national resources. Now the next one is international resources. In international resources, the rest part means an area which is above this 200 kilometer from the coastline and above this is called, is comes in international area. Now this central part, this is a exclusive economic zone. So above exclusive economic zone comes the national international resources. Let us understand it through this diagram. So till 12 nautical miles or 19.2 kilometer, the area comes in national resources, and from 200 kilometer and above, this whole area is a part of international resources. And here we can see that this whole part is a part of international resources. Now what is a special economic zone? Now this part, the rest part in between 19.2 kilometer to 200 kilometer area, this comes in, this part is called special economic zone. This special economic zones, now question comes that who is the owner of this special economic zone? This the country like India is the owner of this special economic zone. This country is the owner of special economic zone, as you can see here. But for this, the country has to give information to the neighboring country also, otherwise this special economic zones comes or become a part of the country. Here This pink color is a part of special economic zone, or we can say it exclusive economic zone, while this one is the international resources, and this one comes in national resources. Here in this diagram it's a national resources. This one above 200 kilometer, it's a international resources, and this is called the exclusive economic zone, which is a part of national resource. Now the fourth classification is on the basis of the status of development. On this basis means here we classify resources on their development, the basis of this development. The first type of resources is potential resources. By name it is clear, potential means resources which has the potentiality to fulfill the needs of that particular area, but that particular area is not using that resource, maybe because of any reason, financial reason or any other reason, that it is not reachable or whatever. But if a community or the nation want to use that thing, they can use, because there is a potentiality in that resources. We can take example of the area of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Here there is a lot of potentiality to produce not only wind but also solar energy, but we are not producing wind and solar energy. Some area it is not easy or possible to reach to that area, and some areas are very near to border with Pakistan, and maybe financial problem is also there. So the potential resources means there is the potentiality in that resource, but we are not using its full potentiality. Please understand it one by one carefully so that we can classify with other. Developed resources, it is not hard. Resources which is totally developed means the resources which we are using at present. That's the developed resources. At present we are using this computer, pen, car, whatever, mobile, etc. Whatever we are using these resources because they are developed resources. Here in definition the thing comes is that resources which are surveyed first, and we know the quality and also the quantity of that resource. They are comes in the developed resources. The development of resources depends on technology and the level of feasibility. Now the next one is the stock. Now understand stock with potential resources. Here stock means those materials which have the potential to satisfy human needs. Potential resources have also the potentiality to satisfy our need, but here we are not using it. And stock we are not using it because we don't know how to use this thing. We have no technology, appropriate technology to access this. So the word stock is used for environment here, means these things are kept by environment as a stock, and near future when we know the technology we use this thing as a resource, but not at present. So let us try to understand it. Potential resources and stock. First thing, In potential resources, the first thing, use. Potential resources, we know how to use that thing. Like wind energy and solar energy, example of potential resources. We know how to use wind energy, we know how to use solar energy, but in stock we don't know how to use these resources, but we know that in near future we can use it. Potential resources, we have the technology how to use these things. Here we have no technology how to use these things. Examples, I already give examples of wind, solar energy of Rajasthan, etc. Here we see the examples, then we can take the examples of minerals of moons. Okay, one thing, if you see that America starts its Apollo missions. Apollo missions mean the missions of moon, and that mission is actually a rivalry with USSR, and America just want to show its power, its technology to the world, and that is the only aim of this. And that is why in the year 1971-72 America stopped its Apollo mission. But now not only America, Russia, Europe, Japan, China, but India also start their moon missions. Like the name of our moon mission is Chandrayaan. We already sent Chandrayaan 1, and in next year, in the year 2014, we sent Chandrayaan 2 to moon. Why all these countries are interested in moon now? The reason is stock. There are a lot of minerals on moons, so the countries want to capture all these minerals, though we don't know how to use this thing. But one thing which we know, that in near future, with the development of technology, we can use these minerals as a power resources. So at present all these resources are kept by moon as a stock. Now the next one is the reserved resources. By name it is clear, reserve, which we keep reserved. We know here, we know how to use them, but that doesn't mean that they are potential resources. Here there is no problem to use them. We can use them, but we are not using these resources just to keep these resources for future generations. जानबूझकर हम इन रिसोर्स का यूज़ नहीं कर रहे हैं. पोटेंशियल रिसोर्सेज में हम चाहते हैं उसका यूज़ करना, हम चाहते हैं कि उसकी फुल पोटेंशियलिटी का यूज़ करें, क्योंकि उसके अंदर है पोटेंशियलिटी, और हम चाहते हैं पर हम कर नहीं पा रहे हैं. वो पोटेंशियल रिसोर्सेज है. स्टॉक, जहाँ पर हम कर ही नहीं सकते हैं उसका यूज़, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी है ही नहीं उसकी हमारे पास इस वक्त. रिजर्व रिसोर्सेज, वो रिसोर्सेज जिसकी टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे पास है, हम लोग उसका यूज़ कर भी सकते हैं, पर हम जानबूझकर उसका यूज़ नहीं कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमने उसको अपनी आने वाली फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए रिजर्व में रखा हुआ है. बाई चांस कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आ जाए तो हम उसका यूज़ कर लें. द एग्जाम्पल्स वी कैन टेक कोल ऑफ एंटार्क्टिका. Antarctica, which is known as a white ocean, continent, because it is covered with white ice. On the other hand, it is also known as black continent, just because of a lot of huge amount of coal reserves are present under the Antarctica continent. So this is how we classified resources on different bases. I hope you understand all these resources. Though even then, if there is any kind of problem, you can send your doubts to me. I'll try to clear it. I'm waiting for your comments. Thank you.